Hello everyone, good morning. Myself Murali Reddy. I'm a DevOps consultant and solution architect. Now we are going to discussing about setting up Linux slave node in Jenkins. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So this is our Jenkins URL, jenkins.techworldwithmurali.in, and here we have a user registration. Here we have a build job. Currently it is running in the master node. Okay, we already discussed why we will be use slave node, right? Now we wanted to set up the slave node for the Linux, and then we wanted to run this particular Jenkins job in the particular slave node. Okay, this particular user registration, it will be support both Java 11 and 17 applications. This part is clear. Okay, fine, right? Now what we have to do, example, if we have in real time Java 11 or 17 application, then we wanted to set up the slave node. In my case, right, first I will be set up the Java 11. So we'll see whether it will work or not, and then we'll be go with 17 related slave node. Okay, and here you have to remember one thing. In Jenkins server, we have installed the Java 17 up, Java 17. Okay, Java 17, and also we are using here Jenkins latest version. Now what I'm trying to do for the slave node, I'm trying to set up the Java 11 first. Whether it is work or not, we will be see it. And then if it doesn't work, then we'll be go with Java 17. Okay, you will get some idea why we won't be use the latest Jenkins version. Okay, fine, clear. Now what you have to do? Here in the Jenkins server, we have a Java 11. And then what I'm going to do, first I'm going to create the server. Okay, and here I'm giving launch instance. I'm going to create the server Linux, Amazon Linux 2 only. Okay, and here I'm giving that Java 11 server. Okay, just I'm mentioning that, guys, for understanding purpose. And here you can give it Amazon Linux 2. I have mentioned that we are using Amazon Linux 2 only. In real time also mostly Amazon Linux 2 only. Okay, and then here you can select. Remember, whether it is master node or slave node doesn't matter. You should be create at least T2.medium, that is 2 CPU and 4 GB memory minimum. Okay, and then here you need to select that keypad, that is infra keypad. And then here most important, networking. Our Jenkins server, it is running in the infra VPC only. If you see here we have infra VPC. Same VPC only I'm going to create the slave node as well. Okay, and here we can see that here remember one thing. In real time, we will be creating the app subnet, but our practice purpose, I'm creating the public subnet only. Public subnet 1 year. Okay, fine. And then here, most important, we already created the security group. The particular security group, here we have Jenkins. Here we can see that Jenkins slave node. In this particular Jenkins slave node, we have enabled only port number 22, that is 0.0. But in real time, we won't be give the 0.0. We always give the specific series, because we'll be connect using client VPN or Cisco, right? We can access it. But in our case, we don't have client VPN or Cisco. That's why we are allowing that all traffic 0.0. Okay, fine. And here I'm giving that minimum 100 GB. And then you can go here, GP3, and then I'm trying to launch the instance. Okay, now it is creating the EC2 instance, and then we'll be log into the server, and then we'll be install the first Java 11, and then we will be configure that particular server to the as a slave node. Okay, clear, right? Any questions? Fine. Now it is creating. Usually it will take around 30 seconds. We have to wait for that particular time. Now you can click this one, copy the public IP, and then go here. Here we have another one, SSH-I. Okay, and then here you need to give it info.com institute-user @ and you have to give the public IP. Okay, now you can give yes or no. You can give the yes. Okay, now what you have to do, you can go to the sudo st-. Now I'm in the root user. Okay, super. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to install the Java 11 in the Amazon Linux 2. For that one, I'm using this command, Amazon-Linux-extras install Java-OpenJDK 11. Okay, remember sometimes these commands will be changed. Please have a look, refer that documentation. Okay, now you can give it here. Now it is trying to install the Java 11, OpenJDK 11. Okay, wait for a few seconds. Yeah, it is going on. Okay, still it is going on. Total we have 35. Okay, now we have it is installed. Now I'm checking that whether it is installed or not. Okay, Java hyphen version. Okay, now if you see here in Jenkins server we have Java 17, OpenJDK 17. In slave node we have a Linux slave node, we have a OpenJDK 11. Okay, super. Now what you have to do, we need to configure this one. We need to use this particular server as a slave node. For that one, we need to configure the inside the Jenkins. For that one, you can go here, go to the dashboard, go to the manage Jenkins. Okay, and then come down a little bit. And then here we can see the nodes, click these nodes. And here by default, we have a master node. That's why it is showing the built-in node. Now what we are going to do, we are going to create the new node. And here you can give it Java 11 slave node. Okay. And also here you can give it Linux slave node so that it is easy for understanding. Okay, this is the Linux server. Okay. Now you can select here because in real time we may have both Linux and Windows, right? That's why it is better to mention like this. Okay. Fine. Now you can click permanent create. And here, if you want, you can give the description why we have created this particular node. Okay. And then most important, number of executors. Number of executors is nothing but, let's take an example, as I said earlier, if you have a user registration application or some other applications, you have configured this slave node to use it to build that particular job. Okay. If you mention number of executors 1, it means at a time only one job will be run in that particular slave node. If you run multiple, right, remaining will be waiting state only. Okay, depends on your use cases, whether you want to give it to 1, 2, or 10, whatever, you can give it. Okay, and the next one, remote root directory. Here I'm mentioning the /opt. In this particular path only, it will be store all the workspaces. Remember, it will be store all the workspaces inside this slave node, whatever we have a slave node server, right? Here, if you go here in the /opt, and here you can give it LL. Currently, it is not configured anything. That's why it is only having AWS and RH. But once we done setup, right, the workspaces will be stored here only. Okay. Now we can see that. And here, most important, labels. Depends on these labels only, it will be decide where this particular job needs to be run. When you are configuring inside the Jenkins job, right, we have to mention that labels name. Okay. Now here, what I'm giving Java 11 Linux. Example I'm giving here, Java 11 Linux. Okay, super, awesome. Here you can give it capital R. Okay, capital or small, anything is fine. Just I'm maintaining same only. You can give the Java J capital. Okay, and here most important uses. Use this node as much as possible. Example, you have a multiple jobs are running. Okay, when you select this one, if master node busy, the jobs will be run it in the slave node. But it is not recommended when you set up the slave nodes. The reason, we need to be defined, depends on your build job with label expression, then only you need to pick up this slave node. The reason, right, in real time, as I said, we may have different versions, Java 8, 11, 17, 21, 23, depends on applications, right? If you select this one, example, your application having Java 11, so sorry, Java 21. But if you select this one, in case if master node is busy, the job will be run it in the slave node that Java 11, but even your application is Java 21. It won't be work, right? That's why always recommended to use the only build jobs with label expression. Remember, when you set up any slave nodes, always recommended to use this one, but master node by default is use this node as much as possible only. Okay, fine. Any questions here? No. Next one, launch method. In launch method, we have two options. One is launch agent by connecting to the controller. We have to download the agent.jar file and we need to run the command, one command. So it will be connect. That is the one option. Second option, we have a launch agents via SSL. If you want, you can mention that host name, credentials, everything, you can do that. But highly recommend we can go with launch agent only. That is fine. Select the launch agent, this part. And here, most important, availability. Okay. When you set up the slave node, standalone server, right? This is the standalone server. When you set up this one, right? Always recommended to keep this agent online as much as possible. You can select it. And also we have other options as well. We can also schedule, hey, I need to, this particular slave node should be available only during this time, morning 6 a.m. to evening 6 p.m. only. Later we don't require. Then we can go with this one. And in case if you want to be on demand, if you run the Jenkins job during that time only, automatically immediately it will come to the online. Okay. Remaining time, right? It will be offline only. You can select this one. But usually will be use this, keep this agent online as much as possible. And also in case if you want to be configure in node properties, example, if you want to configure in environment variables, tools in locations, you can do anything here. But in our case, we don't require. Example, here we have a Maven as well. Okay, fine. Now you can uncheck this one. Now you can go here, save. Now we have created the slave node. Now if you see here, still it is showing that red color only. The reason, just we have created, but not yet done fully set up. For that one, what you have to do, now you can click this one. When you click this one, here it is showing that Linux related command and also Windows related command. First command, right? It will be download the agent.jar file. If you see here, call command, I'm using call command, and this is our Jenkins URL /JNLP jars /agent.jar. We have to be download first. Now what I'm doing, I'm using this command to download the jar file. Okay, now we can come here. Now if you see here, now I'm inside the OPT directory. I have downloaded the agent.jar file. Okay, now what you have to do? Next command, java-jar. Okay, agent.jar. And then this is our URL and this is our secret key. Okay, and then what is the name of the particular node? The node name is this one, right? Java-11-Linux-slave node. Whatever we mentioned, right? This particular node name, this one. Okay, and here WebSocket. We are using WebSocket, and also we have another option, TCP protocol as well. Okay, depends on. If you use the WebSocket, right, you don't require to enable any port number. And here work directory, what is the work directory? We mentioned the /opt, right? This particular work directory only, it will be connect and it will be run this one. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this command. Let's see, copy this and then run this one. Enter. Now if you see here, I'm trying to run it, I'm getting error. It is connected and we are getting a lot of error. Now what I'm going to do, I'm using Control-C. If you see here, it is disconnected. Now if you go up a little bit and we can verify. Here you are seeing the error related to java.lang unsupported class version error. Understand, right? Understand, right? This one. Why you are getting? If you see here, usually this particular the whatever slave node computer slave version, right, has been more recent version of Java runtime. That is a class version is class file version is Java that 61. But in our case, our Java runtime only having this particular 55. That's why you are getting this error. Okay, it means you in this particular Jenkins server, you have installed the OpenJDK 17. That OpenJDK 17 class version is 61. But in the slave node, you have installed Java 11. That's the particular class version up to, it will support only up to 55 only. That's why you are getting this one. Okay, how do we identify this particular class versions, everything? Now you can go to the Google and you can search with like this, Java runtime class version, class file version. And here we can see that class file versions, click this one. And here you can see that in the slave node, right, we have installed the Java 11, right? If you see here Java 11, that's why the particular class version, it will be support up to 55 only. Understand that? But in our case, in the Jenkins master node, we have installed the Java 17. That's why it is supporting class file version is 61. So it means you are in slave node also, you have to be installed the Java 17. It won't be support the Java 11. Okay, understand, right? That's why in real time also, we won't be use the latest Jenkins version. If you use the latest Jenkins version, in case your application having Java 8, 11, it won't be support. Okay, the reason you have installed the latest version, this latest version, it is supporting only Java 17 application, Java 17 related one. But in our case, if you have in your project, if you have a Java 11 applications also, it won't be support. Okay, understand, right? Now what you have to do? Now what you can do, we can for practice purpose, right? What I'm doing here, I'm deleting first Java 11 version from Jenkins slave node. Remove Java start -y. Okay. Now what will happen? It will remove the Java 11. If you see here, it is remove the particular Java 11 related one. Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to install the Java 17. For that one, you can come here. Here you can use this particular command. Yum install Java-17 Amazon-Corito-Devil-5. Now what I'm doing? I'm copying this one. Now you can run this command. Enter. Now it is what is happening? It is installing the Java 17. Understand, right? Java 17. Yeah, it is going on. Let's see. Once installed, right, we can verify it. Okay, Java 17 is installed. Now I'm going to check it whether it is installed or not. Java -f version. Okay. Now if you see here, Java 17, we have installed well and good. For both Jenkins server and slave node, we have the same version only. You may ask question, Murali, in Jenkins version, we have an example Java 8. Can you use slave nodes Java 11 17 as well? Yes, you can. But minimum is in Jenkins server, we have installed Java 11 because our Jenkins server, it is expecting Java 17. It is expecting Java 17. That's why in Jenkins server, we have installed the Java 17. Okay. For slave nodes, right? It should be Java 17 or more than 17. Example, Java 17 or 21, 23. It should be. It should not be like less like Java 8, Java 11. It won't be support. Okay. Now we have installed the Java 17. Awesome. Now what I'm going to do, go to here. Here we have a nodes, right? Just click this one and go to the nodes. Go to the configure here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this particular name. Here I'm mentioning that Java 17. Okay. And also you can come down a little bit. And here labels also I'm changing to Java 17 to Java 11 to Java 17. Okay, because we have installed, right? That's why just apply, save it. Now if you see here, we have done that. Now you can go to the dashboard and go to the manage Jenkins and we can verify whether it is renamed or not. Okay, come down, go to the nodes. Okay, now here we can see the Java 17. And also you can go ahead and check it inside also configuration. You can see that Java 17 related label only. Okay, super. Now what you have to do? Now, first we need to download same only jar file. We already downloaded. If you go and check it here, right? In the slave node. If you go and check it here, pwd, and here we can see that it is running. Okay, super. I mean, in the OPT directory, we already downloaded the jar file. Okay. Any questions now? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this command. What this command will do, again, I'm repeating java-jar agent.jar file. And this is our URL and then secret file. And then this is our name of the particular the particular node and then WebSocket. Remember here we have two options. One is WebSocket. Second one is TCP. When you use the TCP port, right, you have to enable the port number in the security group. And also you need to enable it in the inside the manage Jenkins security as well. But here we are using WebSocket, right? You don't require to enable any port number. Okay. Worked here, that is OPT. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this command. Okay. And here you have to remember when you are running the command. Okay. When you are running the command, always recommended to give unt. When you give the unt, right, it will be run it in the background. It won't be disconnect. Okay. Just enter. Now if you see here, it is connected. How it was connected? It was connected through WebSocket only. If you see here we can see that WebSocket. Now what I'm doing, just cancel this one. Now it won't be canceled because we mentioned that the und is means it will be running in the background. Even if you give the control say, it won't be disconnect. Now you can go here, just refresh this page. Let's see. Now here we can see that agent is connected. Awesome. Okay. What is the label name? The label name is Java-17-Linux. Okay. Now what you have to do? Now you can go to the Jenkins job, go to that user registration. Okay. And here we have a build job, and then you can go here. Here you may ask question, Murali, initially you said this user registration, it is support Java 11. It will be support both Java 11 and Java 17 application. So that's why I'm going to run it. Go to the configure. It will be support both Java 11 and 17. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, this particular job needs to be run it in the slave node instead of master node. I'm going to configure that one. For that one, what you have to do, if you come down little bit, here we can see that restrict where this project can be run. Remember, this option can see only when you configure any one slave node. Then only you can able to see this option. Okay. Now we can select this one. And here we can see that label expression. Here you need to select either your slave node or label name, slave node label name. Okay. Example, if you see here, Java 17. If you select the Java 17, this particular slave node only it will be taken. In case if you select this second option, right? If you have a multiple Java 17 related slave nodes, right? It will be group them. Then you can it will be display. Example, if you see here, this particular whatever we mentioned, right? That particular label we have only one node. Okay. Now what I'm going to do? Now you can come here. Now you can apply it, save it. Okay. Usually, yeah. Okay. Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the build with parameters. And then now here we can see the branch name. That is the main branch. Now you can click the build. That's it. Now when you run the build, here build is run. Now you can click this one. Now if you go and check it here, right? First thing, the job is running in the Java 17 only. That is Java 17 label it is running. Okay, super. Okay, okay, super. Now this part is clear. Any questions? Now if you see here, build is failing due to the particular it is not able to clone the repository. The reason in slave node, we haven't installed the Git. That's why it is throwing the error. Again, I'm repeating here. Here you are getting that error cloning remote repo. The reason you are getting this error, because of what is that? Because of we haven't installed the Git in the slave node. Now, if you see here, I'm using git -- version. Now, if you see here, it is showing the command not found. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm using install git -y. Now, enter. Now, if you see here, Git is installing. Once we install, now I'm going to verify it, git --- version. Now, if you see here, Git is installed 2.47.1. Fine. And here you have to remember, if you install Git latest version also, it won't be impact anything. So any version is fine. In real time also, we can use any version, that is fine. Okay, fine. Now you can go here, select this one. Now you can click the build with parameters. Again, a branch name, main branch, click this one. Now if you see here, build is going on. Now here we can see that it is running the specific slave node. Go up a little bit. Go up a little bit. Here we can see that it is running the specific slave node only. Okay. And here you may ask question, Murali, you haven't installed the Maven, but how it was working? The reason inside the Jenkins job, we have configure, right? If you go and check it job level, let me open this. Go to that build. Okay, go to the build. Let me click this. Go to the configure. And then you can close this one. Now you can come down a little bit. If you see here we mentioned that Maven version, this one. This one we have already configured in the global level, right? In global level, we have selected the install automatically. Okay, install automatically. That's why when you run the Jenkins job during that time, first time it is installing. If you see here, it is unpacking. Okay, it is unpacking. Understand, right? Any questions? Where it is unpacking? Inside the OPT directory only it is unpacking. The reason, the particular workspaces, everything we mentioned that remote directories /OPT, right? That's why it is running there. Okay, now we can go ahead and check it. If you see here LL command, and here we can see that tools related one. If any tools are installed, right, it is available here. Now you can go here, tools. Now if you see here LL command, and here we install only Maven, that's why it is showing that Maven one. Okay, super. And then next one, go to the workspace. In workspace, you can see that what are the jobs we have run. Here we can see that. Example, we have run that user registration, right? Here we can see that. Okay, remember workspace is nothing but here we run that bill number 17, right? The specific one is a workspace only. Okay, now you can go here in the user registration, and here we can see that your repository, everything, bill job. Okay, go to the bill, and in bill job we have a this one. Everything it is clone the repository. Okay, clear, super. Now what is the next one? Go to the OPT directory and then give the LL command, and here remoting. Let's see. In remoting, we have a logs. If you want to check the logs, right, you can go here and we can check the logs as well. Here we have a remoting.log. Using this one, you can check it. Is there any issues? We can see it here. Okay, it is connected, right? That's why it is showing just connected. If you want, you can check the logs as well. Okay, and here one of the most important, whether you really worked or not, they can easy to identify. They will ask the question like, hey, I have set up the slave node. The job is running the slave node. It means our Jenkins job configuration also it is available in the slave node. No, Jenkins job configuration, it will always in the master node only. Only jobs are running, right? Workspaces, tools, everything is available in the slave node. Understand, right? Any questions? Any questions now? This is the setting up. Okay. And also, as I said earlier, we won't be used in real time. We won't be use the latest version. Please don't tell in intro level, we use the latest Jenkins version. If you say like that, right? Immediately they will get to know, okay, this person is not working in the real time. The reason in real time, we won't be use the latest version. For practicing purpose, yeah, you can use any version. The reason I'm telling, again, I'm repeating, if you use the latest version, right, in your project having that different applications, Java-based applications, different versions, example, Java 8, 11, 17, 21, 23, then if you use the latest version, it may not be work related to Java 8, Java 11 applications or Java 17. That's why be careful when you are installing any Jenkins version, right? We always use the specific version, depends on our project applications versions. It means if we are using Java 17, we can go with the latest version also, that is fine. If you are using Java 8 or Java 11 applications, if you go with the latest Jenkins version, it won't be work. We already saw that, right? The particular class versions related issues come. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? And one more thing, just we can recap what we discussed. We have created the EC2 instance and we have installed the Java 11 and we have configured inside the Jenkins node. And we saw that error related to Java class version. The reason in Jenkins Linux server, we have installed the Java 17, but in slave node, we have installed the Java 11 only, but it is compatibility issue. That's why again, we have uninstalled the Java 11 and then we have installed the Java 17 and then we have configured it and we run that particular Jenkins job in the specific slave node only. Okay, this is the one of the most important. In real time, I have showcased only for Java 17. In real time, we may have Java 11, Java 8, and also. And one more thing, remember, usually this process, whatever I have explained here, right? This process usually maintaining the standalone Linux server and running the jobs in the specific servers, right? Usually in real time, we'll be use it on-prem servers. If they are using data centers on-prem servers, right? Then we'll be use this one. But in reality, in real time, if they are using any cloud, right, we'll be do the automation. Automation means on demand, it will be automatically create the EC2 instance and the job will be run. Once it's completed, it will be destroy that particular server. So to save the cost. Okay. But when it comes to the on-prem, yeah, we'll be maintain this process as well. Why I have explained this one? In case if you are in interview level, you may say like, hey, I have experience on 10 years experience, 8 years experience on this particular DevOps, right? They will ask the questions related to slave node. How do you set up for standalone servers? Okay, that's why you should be aware of these things in interview level as well. Okay, some of the project they may use maintaining even if they are using cloud also, they may maintaining that standalone servers, 1 or 2 servers, one server for Java 11, 17, 18. Okay, individual servers will be maintained. Okay, depends on project to project. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via LinkedIn, Instagram, Telegram. And also we have a Tech World with Murali YouTube channel. Here you can subscribe here to get more updates. And also we have a Tech World with Murali website. Here I have published all the DevOps related courses. If you're planning to enroll, you can come here and enroll it. Here we have a different plans, 1 month, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year plan. Okay. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see next video.